All right, to continue, we're going to look at the last method that we're going to go over when it comes to solving systems of equations. We looked at graphing, we looked at the elimination process, and now we're going to look at the substitution process. All right. Our success criteria states that I will be successful when I can find a solution set for a system using the substitution method. It is very, very similar to the elimination method. Okay. But let's get started. The first one we're going to look at is this this question. All right, so like normal, I'm gonna label my equation. That's equation 1, equation 2. We realize that one of them is in slope y-intercept or slope-intercept format. The first equation is in slope-intercept format. The next one is in standard form. All right. If it's not in slope-intercept format, you're going to need to put one of the equations in slope-intercept format. It makes it a lot easier. So with the method of substitution, because this says y equals 6x minus 11, I'm going to take my equation 1 and I'm going to substitute it into my equation 2. That's going to be 2x. Could you guys give me a second, please? Someone from the negative 2x minus 3, and wherever y is, I'm going to put this whole equation in right there. So because y is equal to that, so I'll replace y with that equation. 6x minus 11, and all that is equal to negative 7. And then I go through and I solve it like you normally would. So I simplify. So this becomes negative 18x plus 33. Remember, you do the distributive property when you have something like this, you bam, bam. Okay. All that is equal to negative 7. And then I'm going to get the x's on one side and everything else on the other side, because remember, I'm trying to solve for x. So I minus 33 on both sides to get rid of it from that side. And then I'm going to add these two, or simplify that. So that becomes negative 20x is equal to 40. Sorry, negative 40. Now I have to divide by negative 20 on both sides to get x by itself. So x is equal to 2. I'm going to continue up here. X is equal to 2. I'm going to take equation 1. You could take whichever equation you want. I'm going to take equation 1 and say, so y is equal to 6x minus 11. I'm going to say, and x is equal to 2. So I'm going to substitute x equals to 2 into that equation. So y is equal to 6 times 2 minus 11. So y is equal to 12 minus 11. Y is equal to 1. So my answer is 2, 1. That is the method of substitution. Very, very similar to elimination. You know, with elimination, we make the variable the same and then we draw a line and then we minus and go forth. With substitution, we make one of the equations y equals something. We put it in slope-intercept form, and then we substitute it into the other equation, and then we solve. I'm going to give us a second to write this down. As you're writing it down as well, make sense of each line. Don't just write it down to write it down. As you write it down, make sense of each line, see what I did and see what happened. All right, so for this question that we're doing on the board, it has two equations, but none of them are set in place as the slope-intercept format. So we put equation 2 into the slope-intercept format, which is y equals 5 minus x. And then we call that equation 3. And then after that, we take what y is, which is equation 3, and we substitute it into equation 1. We go through and we solve it. We find out that x is equal to 3. Then we take that and put it into equation 3. I chose equation 3. You could have chosen any equation you wanted to. And it says y equals 5 minus x. Then I substitute 3 where x is, and I got the answer to be x is 3 and y is 2.